Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Curry, filling in for Jenny Taft. On today's show, does Aaron Rodgers deserve to be the NFL's highest paid player? Plus, James Harrison and Rob Ryan join the show to discuss the biggest NFL stories. And do the Cowboys have the league's worst crop of wide receivers? Skip Shannon? Let's get to it. Rodgers made history yesterday, becoming the highest paid player in the NFL. He signed a 4-year extension for a reported $134 million that could go up to $180 million over the life of the contract. He also got over $100 million guaranteed, which is another record. Rodgers is a 2-time MVP and has a Super Bowl title in Green Bay. His counterpart, Tom Brady, is the reigning MVP and has won 5 Super Bowls for the Patriots. Now, we are joined by another Super Bowl champion, James Harrison. James, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
But who's more valuable, Rodgers or Brady?
I have to go with Brady. I know what you're going to say.
I got to hear this reason.
You're going to say that Rodgers has a stronger arm. He could throw it from anywhere in the pocket. But when it comes down to it, Brady can make those same throws. It may not be as fast getting there, but it's going to get there.
Okay.
I've seen him throw a ball and throw a man open that it should have been something that might have been picked off because he just didn't do exactly what he needed to do then.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And again, the man has 5 Super Bowls. He got 8 Super Bowl appearances. If you want to say who's more valuable to the actual franchise, I would have to say it was Rodgers.
Okay, well,
they haven't won without him. The Patriots. But you asked me who is the most valuable, period, and I'm going with Tom.
That's it. Period. End of story. Is
No.
it over?
No, it's not over.
Oh.
Well, for me, it's Aaron Rodgers for the simple fact I saw them go to overtime without him with the Cleveland Browns, a 1-31 team. And we've seen teams. We've seen Tom Brady's Patriots in a 4-game stretch go 3-1. We've seen them in a 15-game stretch go 10-5. It does
11-5.
Well, Tom got credit for that first one because he started the game, so he got credit theoretically. We know Mack finished that thing off in grand fashion, so it should have been Mack. But if you start the game, it's kind of like the pitcher. You start the game, do well, they come in and close it, you get the win, close it, get the save. Okay, I get all that, yada, yada, yada. But value, Skip, value.
Yes, value.
No, it's not even. This is not even close.
Really?
No, not even close, Skip. Not value. Because here's the thing: if you were to remove Tom Brady, we've already seen what would happen. We also saw what happened when they removed Aaron Rodgers. They look like a less than team.
They just got rid of the quarterback who replaced him.
Who?
Hundley. They just shipped him off to Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay,
you know.
So what?
Let you know he
So
was
what? How impressive is that?
Let that sink in.
Oh,
that
he's so valuable. We got rid of it.
That guy started all those games last year. And they said, you know what, bro? We're going to bring in Deshaun Kaiser, who's there now. And we saw what he looked like for the Cleveland Browns. He went over. And he's now the backup to Aaron Rodgers. But the backup last year got shipped out. I don't need to say anything
Well,
else
the
about
backup
this.
was terrible. He wasn't exactly Nick Foles. If they'd had Nick Foles, we'd be having a different conversation.
Aaron Rodgers has this team in the playoffs.
So you're saying Aaron Rodgers all the way, no matter, you're not saying just to the team, you're saying all the way. You don't care about what numbers compared to what they done did in a 16-game list,
I believe
head-to-head, you don't care about none of that.
Tom is more accomplished. The Super Bowls, he's a very accomplished. But like Skip says, if you look at touchdowns, the interception, completion percentage, yards per attempt, all this not even close. Plus, Tom Brady has the number 2 scoring defense in the last decade. Aaron Rodgers has the 18th. That's a big difference. Now, scoring defense is a big thing to an offense.
Yes.
Because we know we got some latitude, we got some leeway. That, you know what, we already know they ain't going to give them so many. So if we get this, we good.
So you want to know why Tom Brady is so much more valuable than Aaron Rodgers?
Not because
he chooses to make so much less money than Aaron Rodgers. That's why he's so valuable to his franchise, because the money he leaves on the table, millions of dollars, they feed it into the defensive side so they can go get a Stephon Gilmore, who was the top corner on the market 2 years ago. And right now, Tom Brady, by his own choice, is scheduled to make a mere $15 million this year, and he's the reigning MVP, and he threw for a game you played in, a mere 505 yards. It's the all-time playoff game record in the Super Bowl. You should have won it.
No question.
Malcolm Butler should have played, but he didn't, and I don't know why. But that's
James didn't say that. James didn't say no question to that one. Why don't you ask him why Malcolm Butler didn't play? He was there.
I'm going to, but I'm going to finish my point first. So Tom Brady says, I'm the reigning MVP. I'm playing. I can make a case last year was his greatest year yet at age 40. I don't care how old he is. He could be 22. He played like he was 22.
Still 2007 his best.
Okay. Skip. I don't know.
2007 Skip 5,050.
Okay, you got Randy Moss, so your degree of difficulty goes down, right?
No, but I mean,
Yeah,
you're throwing
you see, he had a good receiver and threw for over 5,000. If he gave it a good receiver,
Yeah, look what can happen when you give him one good receiver. That's the only time he's had a good receiver.
Is Gronk not any good?
He's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's a tight end though.
Yeah,
You can't just throw.
But he's most valuable.
Okay.
Got
So
good
Tom
value.
Brady chooses to take $15 million, and they throw on a little package on top of incentives for $1 million each in 5 categories. If you're top 5 in the league, you can get $5 million extra. If you max out
Top
in all
5, that's nothing.
Okay,
They should have
top
said
5.
number 1. If he's that guy, he should have said, I want to be number 1.
his base is $15 million. In the next 7 months, Aaron Rodgers will make $80 million. Think about that, $80 million. So Aaron Rodgers went full-on diva LeBron James and said, I want it all. I want to break your bank. You have to pay me by far the most money any quarterback in this league makes because I'm Aaron Rodgers.
Anybody has ever made.
Guess what happens? The salary cap is strapped by Aaron Rodgers because he's going to get such a huge portion. He's going to get, about half the cap? So all of a sudden, you're telling me the defense ain't any good. Well, wonder why. Because the quarterback's making all the money.
But look at this, Skip. In 2018, which is this year, Aaron Rodgers' cap number is $20.9 million. Tom Brady is 22. In 2019, Aaron Rodgers' cap number, 26.5. Tom Brady is 27.
That's
towards the end of Tom's contract. What's the end of Brady's? I mean, what's the end of
but see, that's what that big old thing. But see, when the big money starts to kick in, guess what? The salary cap will be going up 20, 30, $40 million. So now these numbers compared to.
He gets $67 million before January 1st.
Yeah, he
67.
should have got 87.
Okay, well, he gets 80. So if we just did a vacuum right now, if some man from Mars dropped in and we said, hey, I know you don't know anything about football, but this guy's the reigning MVP and threw for 505 yards in the Super Bowl. But this guy who was hurt all last year, he gets $80 million over the next 7 months. How much is this guy, the reigning MVP, worth? Well, the Martian would say, oh, he's worth $100 million.
The Martian would say, the guy that got hurt
am I right?
is worth the most money.
Huh?
Because I know his stats.
He doesn't know his stats. What are you talking about?
Listen, I have no problem with him getting paid what he got paid. I had no problem with even getting more than that. At the end of the day, like, he has to do what's best for him. The cap and everything else, that's up to the team, the GM. You better start drafting right and drafting correct. It's no longer, a letdown with your first, second, third rounders.
I know, but if Aaron Rodgers were the leader that Tom Brady is, he could say, you know what, I don't want that much money.
Tom Brady also has his own little thing set up in their
things.
complex over there. So
Okay, I got that.
Jay, let me ask you a
little
question,
bit.
Jay. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, they come to you when you did your contract, and they said, well, James, we could pay you. You want $85 million. We could give you that, James, but we want you to take $65 million so we can build a team. You say okay.
Who?
I'm just saying. I know you're not gonna say that.
Oh, okay, all right.
You want all your money,
Okay.
but I'm saying hypothetically.
Okay.
You can't then turn around and say 2 years later, I'm underpaid. You took that less money.
No question.
I'm not saying he's underpaid. I'm saying he chose to help his salary cap and his team so that Belichick can go waste a bunch of money on defense, because mostly he just wastes it. And by the way, Malcolm Butler, why didn't he play in the Super Bowl? I don't know.
To be honest with you, they just felt like his practice preparation, it wasn't up to key when he was in practice.
How did he look in practice to you?
Be honest with you, I didn't pay no attention to the back end. I was just there trying to learn what I was doing. So that's really all the stories that came out. That was all BS. None of that ever happened.
All the off the field stuff.
It was, like I said, I had talked to Matty P, and after the game, and they just really felt like his play, wasn't up to par.
Defense coordinator.
At that time. So.
And they thought Eric Rowe was better than Malcolm
Listen,
Butler.
I'm with you. Like halftime, I don't
Especially at halftime,
like,
you're
let
saying,
me at
what are we
least
doing?
at least throw him in there. See what I mean. You can prove me wrong or right. I don't think it could have got no worse. I mean, they was getting us like
Nick
here.
Foles, Nick Foles was lighting you up.
Yeah, yes, he was.
Right?
No question.
What's that all about?
I mean, it's
just
just a couple of situations where, you have a guy, he makes a catch. All we got to do is make the tackle. You miss the tackle, fall off the tackle, and, that converts to a first down, which ends up converting to touchdowns. And, just a couple third downs here and there.
Aaron Rodgers got the mustache, got the beard. Look at Tom Brady, got a baby face.
Baby face.
That's why they gonna
he
pay
looks
him
like
money.
a baby face. And
Aaron Rodgers
yet,
need money to buy shaving cream and razors.
Since Aaron Rodgers' long ago Super Bowl, you know that Super Bowl because you're in that Super Bowl. Is 8 years ago. 8 years ago, and that's his one and only Super Bowl. And
he only got one?
Yeah, only one.
Wow.
And since then, he's 5-6 in the postseason. 5-6 since that time. Just since that time, Tom Brady's 13-5 and 4 Super Bowls.
You remember what happened in Seattle?
Huh?
All they got to do is got to guess the
They had to
onside.
win 4 games to get to win that Super Bowl too, though, didn't
Yeah.
they? 4 games, so he only won 1 game since then in the playoffs.
No,
No,
he's
he
5-6.
wasn't.
5-6.
5
I'm
games.
tripping. My bad.
He beat the immortal Joe Webb.
Stop it.
He beat Kirk Cousins. He beat the
You ain't-
Dez Rob
You didn't
Cowboys.
say anything
He
when
beat
Tom
the-
Brady beat David
He
Garrard.
beat the boat trip Odell.
He beat David Garrard. You ain't say anything.
Odell's, y'all
Who?
was bad
You,
around.
Tom Brady.
We're not doing ancient history. We're doing just since 2000.
And I just told you, Aaron Rodgers' defense is allowing 34 points a game in those 6 losses. In 4
Maybe
of those,
if you took less money, you could have a better defense.
you know what?
Well, seriously.
Hold on.
Seriously, is he a leader or not? Or is he just a diva?
I mean, and some of those defenses had some really good players. They had Charles Woodson. They had Clay Matthews Jr. They had Julius Peppers. Are they any good? 2 of those guys going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, you always tell me that Giselle makes a whole lot of money.
She
so what's
does.
the matter? Well, Danica does pretty well.
She don't
I
make
think.
no money like she don't make
Well, I
money
don't know,
like
but
Giselle.
she does pretty well.
Yeah.
Right?
But Giselle been in this thing a long time.
I know.
Yeah, Skip, I'm still with Aaron on the money thing. Grab as much as you can
Okay,
get.
well, that's fine.
and
but
ride
at what
with it.
price? At what expense?
$80 million. That's the expense.
Your defense. Okay, so
That's
you
not my
can't
job.
now you can't
Hold
tell
on.
me anymore. You're disqualified.
You told me-
You can't come in here and say he just doesn't have a defense. Well, it's his fault.
No, it's not. It's the team's fault. I'm a player. You coach. You the GM. You select the players and build a team.
Right.
I'm gonna get my bread. When it come time for me to eat, I'm gonna eat everything
So
on
what
my
do you
plate.
want him to do? Cheat?
No, I want them to, like James
Seriously.
said, I want them to draft.
Draft right.
Start,
Draft right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get them right.
Really?
If they got it right with that guy, they drafted him. So they got to pay him, Skip. You got to pay him.
Yeah.
Pay the man his money.
Sat for 3 years. That's a long time.
It is.
Had to completely rebuild his delivery.
Oh, well, look, they had a 3-time MVP in front of him, Skip.
Okay.
You make it seem like they had a bum in front of the guy.
Huh. And, then the other thing about Aaron Rodgers is he durable? Is he going to last that much longer? Because all of a sudden he's got a Tony Romo collarbone. It's made of
Yeah, he
paper
got-
mache.
Tony broke
It
his
is.
3 times.
Well, you can't hit the quarterbacks no more, so he gonna be all right.
Well, you can't hit him if he doesn't leave the pocket, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have to stay home
you
in that
You
pocket.
can't even put your helmet on. You can't put your face mask on him. Nothing.
Can't do
He'll
nothing.
Be fine.
And now you can't tackle him, in the outfield. You can't lower your head. You can't hit the guy this place, that place. Pretty soon, just touch it. They gonna blow the whistle.
Minnesota hit Aaron Rodgers last year. That's all.
They got him. They called it just right. I mean,
Right.
bar pending.
Yeah, he
That's
pinned
what.
him.
Yeah, you
And
teacup
they
a guy.
know it. They know it. They know that collarbone's
What-
made of glass, so they're going to be coming.
Well, first of all, anybody, when you get a quarterback, because they don't have a whole lot of shoulder strength because they need a fluid throwing
Right.
motion,
Well-
they don't build up shoulder strength. And all you got to do, and James know this, that's why if you watch when the guys sack the quarterback, they grab him, they squeeze him, and they try to teak up him over.
So is your man going to be mobile this year? Is he going to be running and gunning?
As ever.
As ever?
As
really?
ever.
When you leave that pocket, Mr. Harrison, what happens? You're a little
Lose
more
lot
fair
of,
game.
Yeah.
Right?
You lose a lot of
the
protection.
protections,
Okay.
but even in today's times,
No,
they still giving them too much.
They
protection.
give him a lot, and I agree.
Too much.
But you can get pinned if you leave the pocket, and he got pinned.
Well, he going to pin about 40 touchdowns on somebody this
Okay.
year.
Well,
if you stay healthy.
Oh, he be healthy.
Huh.
I ain't worried about that.
So the 41-year-olds discovered pliability in the TB12 method, and he looks real healthy.
That's great for a quarterback. Now that's just great for now any other position. I can't agree.
I agree.
With that.
But here's the Skip. There's a lot of luck going into staying injured. I mean,
There is.
avoiding injury.
No, I know.
Because sometimes you can be around the pile and the guy come flying over and he rolls into your ankle or roll into your knee, and now all of a
Leg
sudden,
whip, all
yeah.
that, yeah.
So there's a lot of luck goes in that. That's just not pliability.
Okay. But all of a sudden, one guy, he's always pulling something. His calf just pulls like crazy.
And he beat, glad you mentioned that, because in 2014, he beat your Cowboys with a walking cane.
He didn't. The league beat my Cowboys.
No, they don't do that, Skip.
With the worst call in the history of calls, because it was just, you want to talk about getting cheated. That wasn't a catch?
Nope.
He caught it and ran with it and scored with it.
In 2015, 16, and 17, what receiver had the most drops combined? And you thought he caught that ball, though?
Well, he definitely caught that ball.
No.
That was back when he was dead.
No.
Yep.
Nope.
So Aaron Rodgers could have been, 4-7 since the Super Bowl?
And what about
Should have been.
What about the onside kick in Seattle? All the guy got to do is just do his job. Block the guy, the ball comes to Jordy.
You don't want to walk into that trap. You want me to start throwing numbers at you from Aaron Rodgers in that game? That was the worst playoff game he's ever played.
Yeah.
He was terrible in that game.
Tom Brady's been
columnists up in Milwaukee, they skewered him on that one.
He was hurt.
No, he was hurt. Oh, I see.
Huh. So it sounds like it's going to come down to him staying healthy this year.
That's
what it's going to be.
Touchdowns.
James, thank you so much for joining us
80
again.
million.
No mercy.
Adrian Peterson is trying to rejuvenate his career with the Redskins, but the 33-year-old hasn't rushed for over 1,000 yards since 2015. AP has been criticized by Shannon and by Chris Carter, and he responded to them to USA Today's Jarrett Bell. AP said, "Watching some of the things they said about me, man, it really hurt me to the core. Not only are they black men, but these are people I looked up to." Shannon Sharpe said some things, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe that would come out of your mouth. I understand that people are entitled to their opinions. That's the way of the world. But they are in a position where millions of people are watching them. And when I ball out this year, I'm going to have all my fans look up all the people who said some negative things about me and put them on blast and prove that when they're on TV, they don't know what they're talking about.
Wow.
Shannon, it's a lot. What's your reaction to this?
I'm surprised that Adrian would feel this way. I say what I say, Skip. I'm as honest as I possibly can. When I'm critiquing someone's play, I keep it strictly on the field because that's what I'm talking about. Now, if someone gets in trouble off the field, then now I have to look at their personal, I have to look at their character. But I didn't do that with Adrian Peterson. All I said was I said he was a bell cow back, meaning that he's used to getting the lion's share of the carries. And if you want to get the most out of him, you need to put him in that situation. Skip, when we talked about Adrian Peterson, you said you thought Adrian was going to have a great year in New Orleans. I said, no, he won't, Skip. I said, because that's too many backs, and he's not going to get enough carries to show what he can do.
Yep.
He got traded.
At that point, I didn't know about Alvin Kamara. I didn't know anything about him. Yeah.
But I just knew with all those backs in the backfield, you don't take a guy in the third round and release him. Okay, they trade him to the Cardinals. I said, now, if you give him an opportunity, but think about why he got traded to the Cardinals. David Johnson got hurt. It wasn't like they beat down his door and said, we want you to come on in here, Adrian.
No.
He got hurt. I said, now, Adrian can have some success if you give him the ball. They did. First game out the gate, 134. They had a medium-sized game, like 60, 70 yards, and then he had that monster game, 37 carries, $157, I think, or 59 against San Francisco. Then he goes 29, 26, 21. I said that as we age, we can't summons up what we once could and go back to back to back with monster games. That's all I said. He goes to Washington. Think about why he's in Washington. Guys got hurt. There wasn't anyone knocking on Adrian Peterson's door.
And Samaje Perine got hurt.
Samaje Perine got hurt.
Yep.
He's playing for the league minimum. I don't get what did I say that, you know what bothered him, Skip Bayless? Because a lot of times when these players are playing, they get to say, what do you know? You didn't play. Or if you did play, you weren't very good. O'Shea Sharpe sit over here in this seat with you, Skip Bayless, played 14 years, got 8 Pro Bowls, got the All-Pros, got the Super Bowls, and I got a jacket that you can't buy.
Can't buy it.
So now when I say it, he knows I know what the hell I'm talking about, and it stings. Because you got someone that's in that fraternity. And Adrian Peterson's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. But, Adrian, you can miss me with that. They don't know what they're talking about. Because I do know what I'm talking about. And about this black man thing, see, that bothers me, Skip. Because here's the thing. He makes it seem as if because Chris and I are black men, and we say, well, Adrian is not the same guy that he once was, that we somehow inhibit him from getting a job. I'm not a general manager. I can't inhibit you from getting a job. They get to evaluate you on what they see. And if they want you to come in, they bring you in. They're not listening to Shannon Sharpe. A lot of these general managers probably don't even know I'm on this show. The fans do. Why are you so upset that? And I don't get I don't think I was out of bounds. As a matter of fact, I feel very comfortable in saying I never attacked him personally. All I said was what I saw on the field, and I said I don't think he's that same guy, and I don't. And if you do go out there, you rush for 1,300 yards. Kudos, Adrian. But for you to get upset about what I said, I don't think I was out of bounds, and I definitely don't take anything back.
So, as a black man, do you feel pressure via Twitter or whatever social media to be more protective of or more positive about black players?
If they're right, I will. If they're wrong, they're wrong. I'm not going to be in a situation where I see somebody doing something wrong that's black and I won't say anything because they're black. No, I'm not going to do that. And if I see somebody white doing something wrong, I think the people that watch me and watch this show, they know I keep it right down the middle. If you're right, you're right. You're wrong, you're wrong. It's as simple as that, Skip. I don't live in shades of gray. It's this or it's that. You're right or you're wrong. And color has nothing to do with it. But Adrian is trying to put me and CC in a box to say, bruh, y'all black men, y'all shouldn't say anything negative about me. We're not talking about you personally. We're talking about your athletic performance on the field. That's what I'm paid to do, to offer a harsh opinion on what I see based on what I've been able to do in that very league. Where this came from as black men, come on, bruh. You make it seem like I'm out here committing black on black crime.
He did, actually. And
he'd be all right.
If you will, just for the record, as you well know, all too well, I will jump to be critical of white quarterbacks or white anything. Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, Tony Romo, Andrew Luck, Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz. Do I need to go on?
No.
Okay, I just don't even think twice about it. Or I'll be critical of a black player. I just don't care, and I think you don't care because I can go down your list and it'll be pretty 50-50.
Right.
Okay, just for the record. And this whole notion of Adrian going so far as to say he's going to sick his followers on you when he proves you wrong, and they can all shame you on Twitter by saying, ha ha, Shannon, look how wrong you were. Well, you would welcome that. I mean, if you're wrong, you'll just say,
I was wrong. Yeah. And I'll probably pick up me a few more followers too.
That would help, actually.
Yeah, because I'm more interested on Twitter than probably AP.
You think so? I don't know
probably
about
so.
that. I don't know.
But Skip, what did I say that was so far out of bounds? All I'm talking about, the guy's been nicked the last couple of years. And after he had that monster game, he played, I think, one more game, and he was hurt. Because as you age, Skip, your body does not heal as it once did, considering he has all the miles. He's been the bell cow back, high school, college. Skip, he never really had a quarterback in the NFL. So now he's getting 350.
And we're not talking about Emmitt Smith avoiding contact. We're talking about a high collision.
Exactly. But because I was like, man, AP gonna go, because I didn't say AP's gonna go rush for 1,500 and have 13 touchdowns. Now this is black on black, and I'm how do you let that come out of his mouth? Easy. I look at you, I watch you play, and I'm like, that's not the same Adrian Peterson. And the other teams look at you play, and they say that's not the same Adrian Peterson. That's why you were sitting on your couch until a week ago, until 2 running backs got hurt.
And just for the record, when he did land in Washington, I was the one who flipped around and said, boy, I don't love this at all. And you said you liked it.
I said he's going to start over.
You said he's going to start. Did he miss that show? I don't know.
They hear, Skip, look, they hear what they want to hear. And it's hard when, nobody likes criticism. Let's put that out there. But when someone in our field, someone has done what we've done, criticize us, I can imagine. It's one thing for me to say this doctor doesn't know what he's doing. But it's another thing when a doctor says the doctor doesn't know what he's doing. Or a lawyer says this lawyer is incompetent. That's a whole different ballgame.
That's true.
When you talk about 2 gold jacket wearers saying that Adrian Peterson is not the same guy and he's not going to be what he once was with this new team, that has extra significance to him. And he looks at it like I'm attacking him as Adrian Peterson. I don't really know him like that. But I can talk about his performance on the field and what I've seen over the last couple of years. And I see a diminishing Adrian Peterson.
Sure.
That doesn't take away from what he's accomplished.
Nope, it does
He's the greatest back of his generation, and it's not close.
And I don't want to speak for Chris Carter, but as you well know, First Things First, he was a big part of our show here on Undisputed.
Correct.
And as things started to go wrong for Adrian in Minnesota, where Chris is like legend, like he's the big ambassador for the franchise, right? He's Mr. Viking.
Yes.
Chris was the first to say, hey, you need to accept who you are now and maybe take less money just to finish it out in Minnesota. Remember, he talked about how Adrian gets the red carpet treatment every game, and you get your family on the sideline. And if you go somewhere else, you might not get all those perks from somebody else, right?
You're not. No one is going to treat you. If you're a great player, Skip, with the original team that drafted you, no one will ever treat you like that team treated you. Ravens were great, but the Broncos, it's something different.
And now, in the end, you're a Bronco.
Right. Yeah. And I was not the player Adrian Peterson is, so I can imagine how he gets treated, Skip. And the thing was, and I guess he got upset about taking a pay cut. You took a substantial pay cut to go to New Orleans. You're playing for $1 million.
Well, I think he completely oversold his value, overestimated his value,
exactly. Because here's the thing, in his mind, he's still AD, AP, however he wants to be. They call all day, however it is. But these teams, when they look at the tape, they don't see what you see. It doesn't matter what you see. It only matters what they see because you don't own the team and you're not paying yourself. So when they look at the tape, they're like, the old AP would have hit that hole and been gone.
That's correct.
Old AP would have made that guy miss. Man, he's a step slow. He's taking two. That's how they look at it. But he's looking at it like when Chris and I say that, we're attacking him personally. And because we're black men, we shouldn't do that. My job is to critique NFL players or NBA players or whatever we talk about. That's what I do, AP. It's never personal. It is never going to be personal. I try to do everything I can to avoid being a part of the story. Guys take shots at me. I ain't finna go, like, dude, I ain't going back and forth with you guys on this foolishness. I say what I said, I'm done with it.
Okay, but you realize, bottom line, he's trying to use you and Chris as his
motivation,
his rocket fuel.
Yeah.
When the alarm goes off at 5, the first thing he thinks of is, Shannon, Chris, they said I can't. So I'm going to show them. I'm going to prove them wrong. And he's the ultimate, I'm going to prove you wrong. Because he's proven he came back from that horrendous knee injury.
Went for 2,097, then had like 1,200, then went 1,480. And then after that, he hadn't been, but the injuries started piling up. He's not, Skip, he's not the same guy. He's 33 with mileage.
And he's playing the worst position in all of sports to have longevity. Right? It's the worst. It's the shortest lifespan position in sports is running back. Right?
I don't know what else to tell him. Wish you well, bro.
Well, maybe you can take some credit for his great season because you inspired him. Right?
You know he's going to be thinking about you.
No mercy.
Skip, I got some bad news for you. The Cowboys have the worst group of wide receivers and tight ends in the NFL, according to USA Today. They ranked every team in the league and said the Cowboys combo of Allen Hurns, Cole Beasley, and Terrence Williams have experience, but they won't prevent defenses from loading up the box to stop Ezekiel Elliott. So, Shannon, are the Cowboys the worst?
Yeah.
Mr. Hall of Fame.
It ain't close.
Not even close?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think there's 5 college teams that have a better receiving combo than the Cowboys.
Are you saying that you, right here, right now, would be the best tight end on that roster?
Right. I'm saying it right now at 50 years old. If I got a PRP shot, I can go out there and make the team.
Maybe in your brain if you...
No, I can do it, Skip. I can probably do it. I can do it. Skip, look, I agreed with the decision to let Dez go. But in the process of letting Dez go, I thought you were going to get an adequate replacement for Dez. Skip, right now, Dez is still better than anybody on their squad at the receiver position. He's not what he once was. We both agree on that. I've been saying it for the longest of times. He's better than everybody that's on this current roster. And you look at their tight ends. Jeff Swain has 9 catches in 28 games. Blake Jarwin was on the practice squad, so he has 0 catches. Rico Gathers was on IR. So you got, between your 3 tight ends, you got 9 catches.
Last year he was.
Yeah. So between your 3 tight ends going into the season, if you keep Rico, they might look at the waiver wire and look to bring somebody in that has a little bit more experience. Skip, this is terrible. Oh, Tavon Austin. I forgot about Tavon Austin. fast, run 4.3, 4.33, something like that, but has never fulfilled the potential. Find a way to get him. It's hard for me to imagine that Sean McVay, as creative and as imaginative as his offensive mind is, couldn't find a way to get the ball in his hands and get Tavon to put the ball in the end zone. But Scott Linehan, that leave people line up in one position and call the same plays basically all day long, is going to find a way to get him the ball. This is why I believe if the Cowboys are going to have any success, Ezekiel Elliott will probably win the MVP because he's going to have 1,800 plus yards running the football. But Skip, there's no question. If you look at this roster, you look at these receivers, Allen Hurns and Terrence Williams and Cole Beasley, Swain, these tight ends, Rico Gathers, Blake Jarwin. Skip, this is not even close. This is laughable. How pathetic this receiving core is.
So, America, Shannon Sharpe just gave you a big pile of wishful thinking because he's hoping against hope that he's right about this, that's the worst he's ever seen.
Have you seen worse?
On paper, at a glance, it looks like the worst.
Yes.
Which is the best case for me because they will be inspired to shock the world this year. And I believe they're going to shock you, if nobody else, because I love it that they are ranked dead last because in overall impact, I'm going to say it again, this whole offense will be way better than it was last year without Dez Bryant. Last year, even you agreed, Dez Bryant became this broken down shell of himself. He lost confidence. He lost the ability to separate from a single defender, single coverage, and he still demanded the ball from a young Dak Prescott who kept forcing him pass after pass as he led the league in drops. It was debilitating for the whole offense. So now the cloud lifts, and all of a sudden, Dak Prescott can do what he does best. He can spread the football in Brady-esque fashion. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, but he plays that Brady-esque style, spreading the ball to a cast of thousands. Whoever's getting open, whoever has the hot hands, he's going to get them the football on any given Sunday. So I think all of a sudden, I'm going to start from the start. Ezekiel Elliott's going to have a monster year. I've already predicted he's going to have a record-breaking year, in my opinion. And next, Cole Beasley, I think, will turn right back into a guy who just 2 years ago, I think he was the best slot receiver in football. A lot of people thought that. He caught 75 balls 2 years ago, and it dropped to 36 last year in large part because of good old number 88, who's no longer there, Dez Bryant. And Terrence Williams, he was just hurt all year. He had a bad foot. He got it taken care of. He's healthy now. He will be a factor. Tavon Austin was simply the rage of training camp for the Dallas Cowboys. And you can laugh all you want, but I think they will find ways to split him out wide and get him the ball in real space, not in space just out of the backfield. So he's going to be a secret weapon. Michael Gallup. At times, he flashed, just using the eye test preseason games, he looked like a draft steal to me because he's a big, long receiver with a huge catch radius who can just snatch it, and he can get behind people. So all of a sudden, I'm seeing, okay, he's going to contribute. And Allen Hurns is a big veteran receiver who knows how to run routes and get open.
Who had that one good season, got paid, and has not done anything since.
Deontay Thompson's had an Achilles problem, so we haven't seen him yet.
Injury history.
Secret weapon because he can fly.
He's only a secret because you haven't seen him. That doesn't mean he's any good.
Then the ultimate secret weapon is 6'6", 285-pound Rico Gathers, who simply led the team in receiving in the preseason. How do you figure that?
So what did Jerry say about Rico?
Jerry?
Yeah, what did he say?
He can't block. He can't run routes. He's a basketball player trying to be a football player, not very successful so far.
But Jerry is saying that, but you over there with pom-poms on talking about, Rico.
There's this thing called the red zone, and there's this thing called the end zone. And every time I see Rico go up, I think of what's going to happen in the end zone because people are going to have a hard time keeping him from going up in the sky and snatching it and coming down with both feet in the end zone.
Well, how are we going to get him in the red zone if he don't know who to block? What happens when you're going to run the ball?
Secret weapon.
He a secret weapon too, huh? So you got two secret weapons.
Yeah, and the ultimate XXX secret weapon is who's going to catch twice as many balls as he caught last year? How about Ezekiel Elliott coming out of the back?
I hope he catches more than he caught last year.
He doesn't have good hands. He has really good hands.
Not like Todd Gurley and Le'Veon. Not like and David Johnson.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
You have
I got
no
a little
idea.
idea.
So, again, Jeff Swain, Blake Jarwin, they can block. They can do all the dirty work.
Tight ends need to be able to catch.
The one sitting across from me couldn't block.
I
could
could
catch.
block. Oh, I could definitely block. Oh, yeah. Didn't Sting come out here and tell you that Sharpe was a better blocker than he got credit for?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I just remember that he accidentally hit you in the eye because you were out of position.
No, he was out of position. All I know is ask those. I'm trying to think, Skip. In 14 years, I think I had like 1,000-yard rushing, like 10 or 11 of those. A 2,000, a couple of 1,500s, 1,700s.
And in those years, your line was considered the best in football.
Yeah, we were.
And your offensive line coach was.
I was considered a part of the offensive line, Skip.
Yeah. But they wouldn't talk to the media, so you were not part of the line because that's all you did was talk to the media.
But I was
right?
a spokesman.
Yeah.
What y'all want me to say?
Yeah.
Y'all don't want me to say that? Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
That's how we did it, Skip.
Yeah.
Skip, you know, look at these receivers. Come on. Michael Gallup, who's a rookie. Now, I get it. Sometimes rookies, they flash it. He ain't no Randy Moss as a rookie.
Nope. I'll give you that.
Terrence Williams.
Hey.
You know what he is, Skip. You've seen enough. Okay, he's healthy. He gonna go get you 1,000? He gonna go get you 75, 80 catches?
He could get you 800. He can make big catches.
Cole Beasley, I think Cole Beasley, if you want to be generous, he's not a better slot receiver than Jarvis. He's not a better slot receiver than Julian Edelman.
We'll see about that.
You think so?
Yeah, we'll see. He was 2 years ago. He
No.
was unguardable in the slot.
No, Skip.
So I'll be the first to be objective about this. Did I want them to go get Sammy Watkins? He was going to cost a lot of money.
Yes.
And as you say, pretty quickly you're going to pay the quarterback and the running back. Kansas City paid Sammy Watkins a lot of money. Will he be worth it? I don't know, maybe. Would I like to see him on my roster? Sure, I would. Mm-hmm. Then Dallas Goedert. He looks like he's going to be a star for the Philadelphia Eagles, who don't need a star at tight end.
Yeah, they do.
They've already got one. That Ertz guy is pretty good.
You can never have enough good players.
Okay, all right. So Dallas Goedert, I was convinced my Cowboys were going to take him. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and boom, the Eagles trade up one pick ahead of the Cowboys and take Dallas Goedert. And in the preseason, every time I saw him, I said, that guy's going to be a star. Mm-hmm. Okay? So would he be a star? Would he be the next Jason Witten right now in Dallas? He would be the next Jason Witten.
I believe he'd be better than what they have.
Okay? And what did I tell you about DJ Moore? I said he's the best receiver in the draft, and now he belongs to the team they have to face in Carolina in Game 1.
And you could have had Cortland Sutton.
Okay? Could have had Cortland Sutton.
And he looked good in Denver.
Okay.
That blue and orange.
Instead, we got Leighton Vander Esch, who's been hurt the whole camp.
Who can't get on the field, they say.
Can't get on the field, but I don't care because we don't need him on defense because we are stocked.
So in other words, you just wasted.
linebacker.
So think about that.
Yeah.
You just wasted the first-round pick on Leighton Vander Esch.
I don't know if it's wasted, but it's not going to help this year.
So when is it going to
DJ
help?
Moore would be lighting it up right now for this team.
Sean Lee leaving soon?
What are you talking about?
Leighton Vander Esch, why'd you take him?
I don't know. I told you the next day. I said, I don't get it.
Well, I get it. Y'all bad. Receiving core, worse.
That shows you how good our defense is. We don't need our first-round pick. That's what we are.
Oh, y'all don't need y'all like that.
So, Shannon Sharpe.
Yes.
How can you win championships? You can play defense, and you can have a quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over, and you can have a running back who is
Who said he doesn't turn the ball over?
unstoppable.
He had 13 picks last year.
Yeah, well, that was when he had no help. He had nobody who could get open.
All right, he got people that can get open now?
Half those picks were Des Bryant's
Don't
fault.
do that
Yeah,
to Dez.
they were.
Skip, Dez in the bed sleeping. He ain't bothering no one.
Okay, well, I know. I feel sorry for him now.
No,
But I'm
you
just
don't.
telling you the truth.
I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Dez is better than all these receivers that's currently on this roster.
Run the ball and play defense and throw
You
it.
have to throw it sometime.
Throw it to Rico in the red zone. And
Are you sure Rico is going to be on the roster?
I don't know.
Well,
I
how
have
we
no
gonna-
idea. I don't coach the team. I know who's if I'm coaching the team, he's on my roster. Or if I'm running the team, he's on mine.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, and I'll beat you with Rico.
Well, we'll know a little bit. Last preseason game is tonight, so we'll know Friday, Saturday when it starts coming out. We'll see what the rosters look like.
Yeah.
But there are going to be some cuts, some surprise cuts, Skip. That's going to cause some teams like, okay, he's better than what we have and move in a different direction. There might be that potential at tight end.
There might be.
You never know.
The big surprise is going to come week 1, 2, 3 when Shannon Sharpe has to come in and say, I was wrong about the Cowboys.
I won't be wrong week 1.
Yeah.
Luke
Yeah.
Kuechly.
Sean Lee.
No, don't do that, Skip. Ooh, Kuechly gonna be hunting on Zeke.
He will.
Hey, you want a better case he don't get 100?
Nope.
What? Come on, Skip.
I told you, I watched that defense against Tom Brady. He was having a hard time, and this is the best quarterback
Tom Brady
in
doesn't have an
football.
offensive line like the Cowboys. You told me the Cowboys are loaded.
Well,
That's what you just told me. They're loaded.
I didn't say the offensive line was loaded because Travis
said the team
Frederick
is loaded.
He's out for a
Next man
good
up.
while.
Wish him speedy recovery, but next man up. Oh, you told me you like Looney.
I like
You said I
Looney.
love Looney. That's what you just told me.
And you told me I was loony.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
Yeah.
But you love him, so come on, give me a bet.
I might. We got a ways to go until then. We got another preseason game tonight. Who knows what Rico Gathers might do tonight?
What bearing is that going to have on the first preseason game
know.
with Zeke getting 100 yards?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll just have to see if they prove everyone wrong.
Yeah.
No mercy.
The Cowboys have a lot of question marks heading into the season, including the secondary. Stephen Jones said yesterday that the Cowboys have not had any recent trade talks with Seattle for Earl Thomas, and Pro Football Talk reported that the asking price is still too high. Earl said a few weeks ago that the Seahawks need to either give him an extension or trade him. Shannon, will Earl Thomas be a Cowboy on opening day?
I say no. Skip, he's been available this offseason. He let it kind of be known last year when he ran up that tunnel and got Jason Garrett and told him to come get him. They've had ample opportunity. And although it would not be far-fetched for them to go get him, Chris Richards, his former defensive back coach, is the D coordinator now in Dallas. So he could jump right in because he knows the system. He knows all the calls. But it just seems Jerry is, I don't know if he's afraid to part with next year's second-round pick or the extension, the money that you're going to have to pay to sign Earl Thomas long term. It's going to probably cost you, Skip, somewhere around I think Eric Berry got 6 years for like $78 million. So it's going to cost you something around that, $80 million, probably about 50, 55 guaranteed, something around that nature. And maybe Jerry is balking at that. But considering he said he'd write a whopper a check if you guaranteed him a Super Bowl, well, there are no guarantees in sports, but this gets him closer to his ultimate goal because I believe Earl Thomas, the back end of the Cowboys defense, I believe that's the weak link. Got Randy Gregory, hopefully he can stay clean. DeMarcus Lawrence showed last year he can get after the quarterback. Jalen Smith and Lee in the middle, the back end I feel is the weak link. You get Earl Thomas, he can erase a lot of mistakes that they can make on either side on the outside. So I think they should get it done. Do I think he starts opening day in Dallas? I still don't think it happens.
So, my answer to Alex's question is yes, Earl Thomas will be a Dallas Cowboy on opening Sunday at Carolina. Yes, Earl Thomas will be in the starting lineup on opening day at Carolina. And yes, I will then pick my Dallas Cowboys to beat the Carolina Panthers on opening day at Carolina with Earl Thomas in the lineup. In Jerry, I trust.
You know something I don't? You ain't telling me?
I slept on it. I thought about it. I know Jerry. He's got a little used car salesman in him. He can negotiate.
Well, want new car prices.
They do. But this is going to be a game of chicken, of who blinks first, and I believe Jerry will play it to the hilt, which means he will play it all the way to the end of next week. And you mentioned his whole card. I think it's Chris Richard.
Chris Richard, okay.
Yeah.
I said Richard.
But that's all right. But remember, Chris Richard was Earl Thomas's coach, his secondary coach, and then his coordinator, but still coaching the secondary.
Right.
Every year of Earl Thomas's career in Seattle, for all 8 years of Earl Thomas as a Seahawk, Chris Richard was his coach. Well, you don't think Chris Richard could just get him ready overnight?
Yeah, because he knows all the calls. He knows all the
calls.
verbiage. So
and he's
nothing.
Installed. He's got the back end of the defense
Right.
now. Rod Marinelli's sort of the overall coordinator, but they're kind of co-coaches.
Right.
But he's coaching the back end. So all the coverages have changed this year. It's not your basic Tampa 2 that Rod Marinelli brought with him.
There's a lot of single high safety.
A lot of different stuff going on back there. So it's made to order for Dallas just to wait and play it out until Seattle finally blinks. And I don't think Seattle is going to blink because they know full well, Jerry got some bad breaks because Xavier Woods, who was starting at one safety, I think he tore his hamstring. I don't know. It sounds bad to me. And then Kayvon Frazier, who I like as a backup safety, he separated his shoulder. They popped it back in, but dislocated, I think is the right term for it. But the point is, He says he's okay, but I think Seattle is thinking, no, he's really not okay. So you have one healthy safety, and so Seattle's probably upping the price a little bit, right? Oh, we want a first. And I think Jerry would give a second. Reportedly, they were willing to take a second for a while, but now because Dallas
I want a 2 and a 5.
2 and a 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you now the Seahawks GM, or
look,
as you're negotiating against Dallas?
If look, at the concession, what do? Why do they charge you $15 for a soda?
Because they can.
Exactly. You either pay or you thirst to death for 3 hours.
That is correct.
So guess what, Dallas? Either you give us the 2nd and the 5th round picks, or you go into camp. You go into the regular season with one healthy safety. The choices are yours.
Yep, that is correct. So, do I think they like these kids back there? Do they like Jeff Heath, who did intercept Aaron Rodgers twice in the playoff game?
Once.
He actually caught the ball twice, but it got nullified because somebody got called for pass interference.
Somebody got called.
Bogus
it was not. Stop.
It was bogus. So Jeff Heath has some ability. Do they love Jeff Heath because he's a good kid? Yep, they do. Is Xavier Woods a smart young player? Yep, he is. Are either of them?
Let me tell you what he ain't. Earl Thomas.
You could pour them both together, and they're not Earl Thomas.
Exactly.
You could put Kayvon Frazier in there with all three of them. They don't add up to Earl Thomas.
No, they do not.
And Jerry Jones is smart enough to know this is his Charles Haley move. He went in 1992 in late August, and he stole Charles Haley from the 49ers, who said he is more trouble than he is worth. And what happened? A Super Bowl happened a year early. This could be the Super Bowl move, and I know Jerry well enough to know he's going to play it to the hilt. He'll play it out, and you are going to have to come in here. Maybe it's going to be about a week from today. Maybe it'll be Friday. I don't know. It might even be, for all I know, Saturday. But Jerry Jones will land Earl Thomas, and he will pay him top safety dollars. He has to.
Yeah, Skip, but what Dallas didn't realize is that San Francisco would have gave them the draft pick to take Charles Haley off their hands. But Dallas wanted him.
But remember, Jimmy Johnson is like, I don't want to coach that guy because all the story, you know all the stories. Yes, they weren't just bad, they were
awful.
Real bad.
Yeah, he made these guys look like angels today.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Seattle knows what they have. They have a commodity in Earl who has no issues off the field, and he's been exemplary on the field.
Yeah.
And they know Dallas is at a shortage of safety position.
And at age 29, he's got, 3 or 4 good years left, like great years.
I tell you what, take another situation. You remember Seattle when they signed the Minnesota, Percy Harvin?
Yeah.
Skip, they got 1 year out of him. But what did they get in that 1 year? A Super Bowl. If Jerry Jones were to sign Earl Thomas and he gave him, say, 5-year deal, $70 million, $80 million with 50 guaranteed, and he won a Super Bowl this year, would Jerry think that was worth it?
Well, he said the other day, I would write an obscene check, right?
Thank you. And there you go.
Okay.
That's it.
So?
Go and get Earl.
You getting scared?
I told you, well, we're going to have to amend our bet.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to speak this into existence.
I know you are. I know you're trying to speak it into existence.
Yeah, I am, but I got a good feeling. I woke up this morning, I said, that's it. He's going to go do this. It has to, it's on a silver platter, right?
But you're going to have to part with that second-round draft pick.
Just do it. You parted with a first-round pick for Leighton Vander Esch.
Yeah.
Where is he now?
You mad about that? You're still upset about that.
Did I not call it the next day?
You didn't
I said, what?
No, if he had a nice, cool name, that'd have been cool. You're like, Leighton Vander Esch. What is that?
You can't be a football player named Leighton Vander Esch, right?
No.
No? I don't know what you can be. I don't know. But royalty?
Well, he is. He's a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah.
So good luck with that.
Well, he's actually...
No, he's a Dallas Cowboy.
No, he's like injured. He's out of sight, out of mind.
He's a first-round pick, and this is what we know. He's a first-round pick. He's going to be there at least 2 to 3 years.
Yep. We don't need him. We don't care.
It's too late.
It's Earl Thomas or bust. Earl Thomas, this team's got a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shot.
All bets will be off.
Yep. You got the best offensive line in football. Travis Frederick will come back sooner than later. And all of a sudden, Zeke's going to break records. Dak's going to bounce back and look like the Dak of his rookie year.
Dak's contract is up in 2020.
This
and
is
a year
it.
later, Zeke.
Has to happen.
So,
Earl Thomas, I trust. I do. In Jerry, I trust.
Oh, now you trust Jerry?
On this one, I do.
Okay.
This is the kind of move he makes.
No, this is the kind of move he used to make.
No mercy.
The last 2 defensive players of the year are both currently holding out. Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack are both looking for new deals. Earlier this week, Sean McVay said he was, quote, very optimistic about Donald's contract getting completed soon. But in Oakland, Yahoo reports the team is currently in a, quote, pay him or trade him situation with Mack. And the Raiders are reportedly looking for 2 first-round picks in a trade. We are joined by former defensive coordinator Rob Ryan. Rob, who is more valuable, Donald or Mack?
I'm going Aaron Donald. I think what makes him so special and so unique is he's in the middle of the defense. And with all these quick passing games and all that, you need a guy to attack the pocket right away. He also, all the zone running schemes, he penetrates, makes plays in the backfield. So he's unique, and he's one of a kind. He's short. He could walk under this table. It doesn't matter what he looks like. His impact is so it reminds me of Warren Sapp. And I was fortunate enough to coach Warren in Oakland, and he's the best player I ever coached, most dominant player.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I've coached some fantastic players, but Sapp absolutely dominated everything because he is in the middle. So, with at least with Mack being on one side, you can have a game plan, just go away from him.
Right.
And these edge rushers nowadays, you can chip them, you can, brush them, you can, do whatever you can to help slow them down. But look, both of them are great football players. Both of them should get paid. They're the top of their profession. But Aaron Donald, in my opinion, does what no other tackle in the league does, and that absolutely dominates the game.
I agree, 1,000%. Aaron Donald, he's closer to the quarterback, Skip. He played in that 3 technique, which is the under tackle, made famous by Joe Green, Warren Sapp, Johnny Randles played that position. Skip, when I first saw him, I'm like, who is that little dude? Because, Skip, when you look at him, because he's not 6'4", 300 pounds, you look at him, he kind of looks like a normal guy that just works out, just a normal guy. Mm-hmm. But you watch him on tape, he is so quick. He's the quickest thing. He's the most dominant interior lineman since Sapp. Mm-hmm. And he's so quick. He's like what Rob says, he's in the backfield. And because Khalil is on the edge, you look at 39 sacks. He has 39 sacks as an interior lineman. That's a lot of sacks. That's almost double-digit sacks a season. Mm-hmm. You don't normally find that from a defensive tackle to get double-digit sacks. Mm-hmm. Man, he's special. What I don't get about the Raiders is that when you identify a guy, you go into the draft and you select a guy, I think he was the 4th pick overall, Skip, you're like, man, I sure hope this guy pans out because it's going to make me look good. The guy's panned out. Aaron Donald is panned out. What's the holdup? What do you need to see? Aaron Donald was Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Khalil Mack was Defensive Player of the Year. What haven't you seen that you need to see that would make you want to pay them guys? I don't really know what else they can do, Skip.
So I hear what both of you say, and I respect the heck out of what you would say as a defensive coordinator. I'm just going on eye test watching TV. I don't watch coaches' tape. I'm going on what I see on my little TV in my little place. And I see Khalil Mack leap off my screen.
He does.
Because he is explosive off the edge. So we're going edge versus interior. We're going in versus tackle. Mm-hmm. And I get everything you say, and most people echo exactly what you're saying. All the insiders say, this is our darling. This is the guy. This is the one you respect and appreciate the most because he can just tear up the pocket. But when I test Aaron Donald, I'm just telling you what I see or don't see. Let's say the game at Jerry World last year, Rams at Cowboys. I watched the whole game very carefully, and he never flashed for me one time. Now, I'm not breaking down the tape to see if he's collapsing the pocket or moving the pocket or pushing Ezekiel Elliott back into the backfield, all those things that you talked about. But I'm talking about flashing on my screen. Aaron Donald doesn't flash. I watched a bunch of Rams games, and Reggie White. Let's do Reggie, the great Reggie White. He played for your father. Well, that's what I'm saying. But when I watched Reggie White, he would just leap off my screen because 2 people would try to deal with him, and they couldn't deal with him. Right. So you could just watch this green guy over here, and he'd just blow up the whole pocket and get a hand on the quarterback. There are games when I'm watching the team in the black jerseys, the Oakland Raiders, when I'm watching Khalil Mack, he doesn't always get cranked up. And I don't know if the motor runs hot enough all the time. I don't know why that's still an issue for them. But when he decides in the fourth quarter, he will go Von Miller and just take the whole game over because You can't coach that. You can't teach it. And ultimately, even if you're chip blocking him, you can't stop him from getting to the quarterback. And that's a commodity, as you know, in football. It just wins the game. Because if you can disrupt the quarterback, get him on his back, or get him gun shy, looking this way, you win the game that way. He can impact the game, to me, in ways Aaron Donald subtly impacts it, but it's beyond that. But I'm not knocking Aaron Donald. I'm just saying, when I tested, Khalil Mack's had 15 sacks, 11 sacks, and almost 10.5 last year. So each year, he's just the dominant sack artist in the game, other than Von Miller.
He is tremendous. Now, he can do a great job at the point of attack of what they call setting the edge. Setting the edge means that you hold the tight end or the offensive lineman and you keep the outside arm free so nobody gets to the sideline. He can do that. He can bull you. He's more of a bull rusher than Von Miller is a bendy, Gumby type guy that can dip up under you like.
And speaking of that, so was Sapp. Sapp had slithers that I can't explain. He had flexibility. He was wiry sort of inside, but he was also stout. But he could slither in between, and you just couldn't block him because he was so quick off the ball and so athletic and sort of flexible and pliable that he really disrupted everything.
But when you hear defense coordinators, Rob, and you can attest to this, you say, I want to get him off his spot. Where's the quarterback spot? Right there in the middle of the pocket. Right. So Aaron Donald is 2 feet away from that.
Okay. So I watched Aaron Donald against the Cowboys. He winds up with 2 tackles, and he got credit for 2 hits on the quarterback, but no sacks.
Right.
But I can't remember him. I never thought, they can't block Aaron Donald. He's disrupting. He's taking over this game. But I'll watch Khalil Mack fourth quarter. Man, he'll just take the game over. I'll say, well, that's you can't stop that.
But it's a long day for Aaron Donald because he's going against Travis Frederick and Jack Martin.
That's hard.
You got 2 all-pros.
So it's a wrestling match.
You whip one and the other's right there waiting on you to come back to him.
The big thing is, like Mack, he is a dominant edge player, like you say. He's a dominant pass rusher. Why you felt Reggie White so much is Reggie never just played tackle. A lot of times he'd play end and things like J.J. Watt. They move him
up and down the line.
So you see him more than an inside tackle. The biggest thing is Khalil Mack, he's a double-digit sack guy. Well, look, in Dallas, I had 2 double-digit sack guys. I had Spencer and I had Ware. So both of them produced. About every defense I've coached has had a double-digit sack guy. When I was in Oakland,
make the other?
Well, Warren Sapp made Derek Burgess lead the league in sacks. And by the way, Simeon Rice never did anything until he played next to Sapp. These guys make people outstanding. Absolutely. They make people outstanding. Donald helped Quinn become outstanding and lead the league in sacks. So, to me, his impact really is inside. It's never going to be appreciated on television per se as it is coach's tape because you can see it all as coach's tape. But the main thing is how many tackles in football can do what this Donald's doing?
Right.
Not many, like very few. Where Mack, you do see a double-digit sack guy on most good teams.
Right. And the thing is with Aaron Donald, he led the league in quarterback pressures.
Yeah,
that's what you want. You want to pressure the quarterback.
Pressure him, hit him,
but
get
this
him
would
off
make
the
no
spot.
sense to me. You sign Ndamukong Suh to fortify that. So now we got 2 Hellraisers right
and
there
Brockers.
in the middle. Right. And Brockers. It would make no sense to not sign Aaron Donald.
They got to sign him. They got to. They got all those corners.
Yeah, you got
for
to
Wade
leave
Phillips to play man coverage. There it is.
And it also makes no sense to trade Khalil Mack.
Absolutely
you just can't
not.
Do it.
No.
You can't go get another guy like that.
No.
They're saying 2 first-round picks. Yeah. Well, the last linebacker to do that was what? Wilbur Marshall? Yeah. Now, he was worth it.
He was worth it, yeah.
He was.
Khalil, they're special. Hold on. You know what, Skip? John Gruden has not reached out to Khalil Mack yet? Now, you told me when LeBron arrived in L.A., he should have reached out to one Luke Walton. You don't think John Gruden should have called Khalil and said, Khalil, what's on your mind?
How do we get to LeBron?
I'm just asking you. I'm asking you about John Gruden not reaching out to Khalil Mack.
Well, LeBron clearly has little to no respect for young Luke Walton.
What about John Gruden? Does he have any respect for Khalil?
I don't know. Maybe he's letting his GM do that.
No, he had a GM.
Business.
He got final say.
He's got veto power.
Yeah, okay then.
Yeah.
So don't you think he should have reached out? McKenzie already know him. He drafted him.
Business is business.
Oh, so now business, huh?
Okay. Gruden probably called LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good job, Rob. That's what happened. Everybody want to talk to Bron.
Oh, no doubt.
He want to be in the shop. Me and Khalil going to be in the shop next week.
Luke Walton will last half the season next year. That's it. Yeah. LeBron will fire him.
Well, I tell you what, y'all better get Khalil Mack because your defense don't get pressure on the quarterback a lot of times with Khalil in there. Without him, good luck.
Make or break. You got to get him back. I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea.
But considering Aaron Rodgers got $80 million, it's going to take something around that for them. Aaron got 103 guaranteed. It's going to take $70, $80 million for these guys to come to camp. Come to the regular season.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rob, thank you so much for joining
Way to go,
us.
Rob.
Really appreciate it.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Alex Curry. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.